Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Mini Weekly. The camera's really close. Look at that. It's right here. I'm Ryan Boni.
Don't move too fast.
I'm here with Kevin Bastos on the panel today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
On the panel today.
Just today.
And
today only.
Also on the panel, a clean-shaven Justin Pinto.
All
Wow,
good.
look at that.
Let's
All
do the
good
shout
things.
out
Is that
to
an
our...
accident, or it came off, or was it on purpose?
I think it was all an accident.
Okay.
And all on purpose at the
True.
same. Somehow it was both.
Can we do a shout out to the superfan Sam Pete for repeatedly making fun of us and the facial hair show?
I would say not so much you all, more me, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, listen. When the comment was made about stepfather trying to keep two children, and
well, that was also, yes.
that was
yeah.
about both of us.
Well, yeah, most of the complaints were about the mustache.
Oh yes, of course, of course,
Yes.
of course. Focally,
Speaking of complaints, the Sea Otters aren't doing anything. They were.
Really
we had.
not.
We don't know.
had. Oh, is it off? We had
It
an
turned itself
amazing.
off.
We had some amazing shots prior to the show. We had super tight shots of the Sea
Always the
Otters.
case.
They were cleaning the camera off at one point. There were
Now
all
we're
kinds
a
of
little
action.
late. A little late start.
Well, there's one way up in the upper corner, or up in the top there, but that's all you get to see for the Sea Otters.
we are a little late.
Well, together we are. The show started late mainly because of me.
Oh, okay.
But as a show total,
Got
we
it.
all began the show late.
Got it. Can I do this? Ready?
Yes.
Speaking of Spain,
Speaking of Spain, this has nothing to do with Spain, but
I missed this. I don't know
oh,
what's,
you did.
I don't know what's going
can
on.
you believe yet again, Bad Boys for Life, #1 movie in the nation?
Can I believe it? Let me
$17.6
take a
million.
I can believe it because you sent me a link of it.
What is in its first week this week?
Gretel
What had a
and
chance?
Hansel?
Gretel and Hansel.
Yeah.
Okay. Just how bad is Gretel and Hansel? It opened up fourth behind Doolittle.
Yes.
In its third week.
Yes.
That's
But Doolittle's a family film. Doing great
no.
for a family
Three
film.
things against it. Opened up in fourth behind Doolittle in its third week. That's how bad the movie is.
And apparently expectations were not high, and this came even beneath that.
Even lower.
And really bad was the rhythm section. You see all the way down there at number 10.
I don't think
I
I see
didn't
that
see.
far.
I was going to say I couldn't go that far.
Rhythm section. What was that about?
$2.7 million in 3,000 theaters. That's an average of $890 a theater.
Listen,
which is
if I put a theater up and I earn $890, I'm going to be happy with that.
yeah. But if you go down to the bottom of the list, you can find $890 Zombie Child also made $995 a theater.
Well, you know.
In two theaters, $1,900.
True.
One, highest theater count average ever, I believe, was Lion King. Made like $700,000 a theater or something. It was in like 3 theaters. Sold out all weekend.
Oh, well.
By the way,
Before it went wide.
Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, in his 22nd week, made $199
Wow.
I
in
missed
one
that
theater.
one. I missed
I
that
didn't
one.
realize.
I was also looking, I believe, if memory serves, but the new box office mojo, I couldn't find anything I was looking for. No longer can I find the dragon movies that don't have a dragon in the title all-time list anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that Avengers Endgame was only #1 2 weeks in a row. And now Bad Boys for Life, 3 weeks in a row, #1. So it has now surpassed Endgame, I believe, in some ways.
In
In
some
most ways, not.
No, financially,
What's
global intake, all that stuff, never.
Did Obi-Wan
But most
Kenobi-
weeks in a row at the box
In
office.
obscure box
From a
office
s-
statistics.
From a certain point of view.
Movie #1 at the box office the most weeks ever.
Gone with the Wind?
Something.
E.T.
Titanic.
E.T. most weeks according to one list.
Yes.
Most consecutive weeks, Titanic.
Wow.
And Titanic
Well done.
didn't open right number
Well
one,
done.
right?
I don't know if it did or did not. Titanic was #1
Oh, yeah.
15
It
weeks.
was like low, and then it built up, and then it just
It
stayed
just stayed
there.
like it made like $19 million every weekend for like 12 weekends in a row.
Okay.
But then it stayed #1 for 15 weeks in a row. E.T. was 16 total weeks at #1. That's all I got for you.
That's 2 wins right there.
That's impressive.
I'm impressive.
very
Of
Gone with the
all
Wind. I'm
movies-
surprised we don't. I mean, I don't know if they have the actual records back then. How much money it made, yes, but how many weeks #1? Was that even a big thing in 1940? Is that what year it came out? 40?
39, I think. Wait. It's 39 or 40.
I-
that year is like the greatest
They had
early
a ton, yeah,
film year.
there was that best picture category was like huge, wasn't it?
Oh, and almost every film in it is an iconic film, and I would guess we've seen them.
I don't think I've ever seen Gone with the Wind.
Really?
I don't think so.
You're aware of it, though.
I am very much aware of it,
Okay.
yes.
Right.
I do know that it is a movie of iconic nature.
Wizard of Oz, have you heard of that one?
I have, and I don't really like Wizard of Oz.
I don't either. I own it. It's not my favorite film.
I think I own it, but
I have
it
an
ended up...
Did I tell you an obscure story about Wizard of Oz?
Go.
Okay, so we were at a home. My parents left us there for the weekend. They left town for something. It was like one of the few weekends they left us there. They left us with kind of shady people. Yeah.
Okay.
So my brother had a Cub Scout thing of some sort that I was to walk him to and walk him home from. So we're walking home from this Cub Scout thing at like 9:35, 9:40 at night. Something that was way too dark for two boys to be wandering through a neighborhood home. And we knocked on the door to come in, and there's no answer. We knocked again, and there was no answer. No answer. I was like, what is going on? This is the house. I know. So my brother's like, starting to freak out. And he's 7 at the time, and I'm like 12 or 10 or something. And we're just like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And the door opens up after we've been waiting for like 12 minutes. And they came to the door like, sorry, we were waiting for the commercial.
Wizard of Oz?
They were watching Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
I'm like,
You haven't seen it before? Pre-DVR, I couldn't pause.
There are children outside, and my parents, I'm assuming, compensated them for watching us, and they couldn't come to the door to answer it because they were watching The Wizard of Oz.
Well,
so I hold a little grudge.
It's an iconic film.
I hold a little grudge toward The Wizard of Oz to this day.
Well, so of course I quickly looked up 1939 Best Picture nominees, although forgetting that the 1939 was actually 38 movies, so I didn't recognize. I recognized like 2 of these. How many movies we got? 10 movies.
Wow, 10.
In,
We're back.
1939.
We're back. I did not know that.
But so 1940, it was Gone with the Wind, Love Affair, Stagecoach, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington,
Lawrence of Arabia.
The Wizard of Oz, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, Of Mice and Men,
Mr. Chips.
Wuthering Heights, and then is it Ninotchka?
I don't know what that is.
And Dark Victory.
But you've heard of 7, 8 of those movies.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive for, what, 70 years ago? 80 years ago now?
Yeah, we're at 80.
That's a lot of recognition there.
You don't think they're going to be talking about Fast and the Furious 9, 80 years from now?
No.
They might be, because it might be Fast and Furious 89.
Oh, God.
The Fast Saga continues.
Don't worry, we have some Fast and Furious news coming up soon.
Yes.
But before that,
It might break a record for time between sequels. Like, how fast can we make another movie? Be like, that trailer, end of the movie comes up, and the next movie, Fast and Furious, will be coming out tomorrow.
John Boyega, you guys are all very familiar with.
I've heard of him.
Stars as Finn in.
I did not click on this one.
So
I didn't either. I was teaching.
On Instagram, he put himself very well done into every character in the Cats trailer.
That's pretty amazing.
That's fantastic.
But Cats, we're down on Cats, I thought.
Oh, no, let's bring it back.
Have you seen Cats?
No, we were just talking before you came in.
You said you wanted to see it.
Yes. How would you not want to see this?
Because it looks terrible.
That's why I want to see it.
I mean, that's fair enough.
There's an interest. Listen, that's pretty amazing.
I'm just trying to. I mean, how much money was spent to actually put that together, too?
I would guess almost as much as Cats earned.
It's not. I was going to say, didn't it make $100 million? Didn't it cost $100 million
cost
to make?
$100 million. Yes.
To make it.
Yeah, I'm saying how much it earned.
I don't know. Is it still in the box office? Can I see it this weekend?
You might not have been able to see it 2 days afterward.
Well, that can't be true. There's contractual obligations for at least 2 weeks.
I don't know, a week maybe. No Time to Die.
So,
interesting.
What was Cats grossed?
16 million.
38 million worldwide.
16 million. 16,
38 million worldwide?
16.
16.
Was that right?
No, I don't.
Oh.
That was very much like a confirmation 16.
I was like,
It
I
was.
thought you were telling me it was 16.
I've heard 16.
27.
No.
27 million. I was wondering if it earned less than the next story, which is, I don't know if you guys saw this, there was a football game this past weekend.
A big one.
I watched it.
A big football game.
I watched it.
In fact, it might be a super game. The Most expensive commercial.
Was it the Blue Bonnet Margarine Bowl?
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
The most expensive commercial for the 2020 Super Bowl was the No Time to Die trailer. And they paid...
Strikes me as, I mean, was this a really peak time of the Super Bowl for that much?
I don't know. You're taking a gamble when you put ads on.
$5.69 million for
30 seconds.
For that 30-second spot.
It's a lot of money.
What's your prime time? First commercial break?
I don't know. I'm not. I'm
halfway through the second quarter.
I'm no Super Bowl commercial expert.
I don't know.
Now, the Blue Bonnet Margarine Bowl. I'm much
much
more studied up.
Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, probably before your time.
Was it a bowl game back in the day?
Yes. Blue Bonnet Margarine Bowl.
I think we went through a time where the bowl games got reasonably not quote unquote normal names, but now we're at who
knows?
Well, it's like
this
Rose Bowl, this bowl presented by this company at this venue. There's 7 different advertisements in one name,
and yet they still are unable to pay college football players.
They don't pay them. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
That I know.
They're supposed to not pay them.
Direct cash payments not acceptable, but. So, are you excited about No Time to Die?
Yes.
The final?
I would say yes, but I haven't watched the last 2. I want to. I just haven't.
Is it Quantum of Solace is really bad? That's right.
I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as Casino Royale.
Oh, Casino Royale was a home run.
Yeah, I didn't mind Quantum of Solace, but it's like Bond movies. There's peaks, there's valleys. Yeah. Even with the same Bond, you go through highs and lows.
There are more peaks with Sean Connery than there are with Roger Moore.
Well, does he only have one? No, George Lazenby only has one.
George Lazenby has one.
Was it a peak or a valley?
I liked it. It might be my favorite Bond film.
I don't remember it.
Oh, I liked it a lot. It's weirdly slow moving, but satisfying.
I feel like Casino Royale was slow moving for a Bond movie, but really well done.
I would put
and
it.
Then I feel like Quantum Solace tried to pick up the pace, and I feel like the story lagged.
Burned.
And then
I remember watching
Spectre, Skyfall, and then Spectre.
Right.
I have not seen Skyfall or Spectre.
Although
a lot of people saw Skyfall.
Skyfall was good, but it had very long, slow parts to it, which was interesting.
I think Spectre, I think, and I'd have to watch him again. I thought I put Spectre below Skyfall, but I thought it was pretty good still. I mean, of his, Quantum of Solace is the worst. So,
I could believe that.
Pierce Brosnan's or
GoldenEye was pretty good.
Yeah.
The news one was not so good.
Oh, painful. Like that last moment, I was like, oh.
What is that? Tomorrow Never Dies?
None of them stand out very much.
They're
like
GoldenEye is very good.
And they're,
yeah. The last one I thought was pretty good. The one with the whole ice castle thing, ridiculous, but it's kind of what you want in a Bond film.
You've kind of signed up for that, haven't you?
You're going in. It's going to be over the top.
Yeah.
Speaking of over the top, by the way, Rami Malek.
Speaking of Spain. Speaking of Spain.
So, all right. F9, the trailer, Fast Furious 9.
I like how we're no longer calling it Fast and the Furious. We take
F9.
We take some words, we use the letters.
Vin back.
So Justin Lin is back.
Justin Lin.
This is his 5th directing out of the 9, I believe they've said.
But he didn't start until Fast
he started,
4, right?
Well, he did Tokyo Drift. That was his first one.
Oh,
which is of course the offshoot. And then
but they brought it in.
He left in 7. So the trailer, obviously, it's not giving anything away since we don't know the movie other than the trailer.
The trailer is almost
has given away
8% of the movie.
So much.
4.5 minutes long.
So we got John Cena is now long lost brother of Dom.
True.
And Han is back. I don't know where, which we have no idea. But apparently Justin Lin. So Han dies, of course, at the end of Tokyo Drift.
I don't know what happened to who, but when he came back, everyone seemed surprised. So I thought it was a big reveal.
Well, because he dies at Tokyo Drift, but then they retconned it and said, well, Tokyo Drift actually comes later, much later in the timeline, and then it is shown in 6 or 7 in the credit sequence that Deckard Shaw, who was played by Jason Statham, was responsible for before it. But now he's back. He just walks out of the shadows.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen any Fast and Furious movies since number 3.
I don't know if I watched number 3. I mean,
Tokyo Drift, I did not watch.
I think I watched it. I think it was on and I was in the room, But
It's like
I will
was
say
watching.
this.
It was in the background.
I went on the Fast and the Furious ride at Universal. One of the worst rides I've ever been on in my life. It was so bad.
Well,
so,
when we retcon it,
so bad.
The key to Fast and Furious is it's the opposite of Star Trek. So so one is great, 2 not so good.
3 is terrific, and 4
well,
is
3
a
is
little
good, but
slipshod.
it's totally different. And then 4 is really bad. And
well,
then,
it's the odds and the evens, right?
And then actually 5, 6, 7, they're increasingly crazier and amazing from then on. But you got to watch
I am
one.
far more
I
familiar.
do want to see
But
them.
you can skip 2 and 4. I'll give you this.
Of Fast and Furious or Star Trek?
I'm going to go out on a
Fast and
limb
Furious.
saying I can skip all of them.
Sometimes you could watch
There's
9
a lot
and
of story points though to the family aspect. That
Let me see. Are they like driving cars and smashing them in midair and on others?
Sometimes.
Well, now it's getting
Tanks, hot air balloons.
Planes.
And I did not see the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, but apparently that gets very sci-fi too. That now they're like
They were running down buildings and stuff.
genetically manipulating humans and stuff. Of
course.
So
That was the only. Well, that may be the Fast and the Furious film I was most interested in as of late.
okay.
Hobbs and Shaw?
Yes. I wouldn't say I was interested in it, but I was most closest to interested. If that was on for free, I'd watch it. Kind of a
Well, that's the power of The Rock.
True. Truth.
So we may be getting the all-female spin-off. May come after F9. Just try to keep track of this. And then Vin Diesel just came out and said he thinks that Fast and Furious 10 is going to be split into 2 movies. And,
Wow.
and do a 10 part 1 and part 2.
I'll
Harry Potter and
Definitely a Hobbit.
and Hobbit. those
Hobbit.
sorts of
What was
things.
another one that did
Well,
like...
Hobbit was 3 parts.
Yeah. True.
Oh, my Lanta.
There's only one answer, Rock. 4 parts. 4. Get them all. We have to have every. We need to break every
All
franchise
the movies are
record
going to
we
be
can.
7 minutes long.
And they'll actually be shown as shorts around other films. You'll have to see every. Vin Diesel is in a movie, he gets a piece of the movie. Jason Statham's in a new movie, he has a little piece of it. You actually have to see 18 movies to see the whole thing in bits and pieces.
It's going to be amazing.
Never been done before, I don't think.
It's going to be the Fast and Furious universe.
Making.
They're going to have, yeah. Speaking of history making,
Speaking of Spain.
so in case you haven't noticed, we're up to Saw number 9.
Also caught me off guard when I saw that.
No,
But I had no idea, and apparently Chris Rock is the producer. It's Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson are in it, and it's called
In a Saw movie?
Did you see the rundown at all?
No. It came
Yes.
It came to me 8th period, which is when I start teaching again.
So no,
I have a long stretch of teaching.
No, this is Saw 9 with, you heard
I'm
right,
sorry.
Chris Rock
Kids, sit down.
and Samuel L. Jackson.
Saw 9.
So the first
Sam
trailer
Jackson.
came out, which
No teaching today.
called Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Yes.
This is the 9th chapter in the.
We're
Jigsaw.
making it now. It's like the Fast Saga. It started off as just a movie. Now it's a saga.
and it appears
P.T. Barnum, so correct.
and it appears as if there's a killer. We're not sure if it's the killer from the Saw series or
Jigsaw.
perhaps it's one that's
Now,
copycatting.
was Jigsaw the killer the dude who rode the bike?
I've never seen a Saw movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a horror movie guy.
Okay,
We've made that clear.
Let's talk about them then.
Well, this one has Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
You might be seeing this one.
I don't.
You
I
might be
watched the
confused
first
though.
Saw.
If you,
I watched the first Saw. I did.
could you go from 1 to 9? Do you
I'm
think?
sure you could. It's sort of like Friday the 13th by now. The final chapter, reborn again, crossed over with Freddy Krueger.
I believe I read this article. I believe it's Chris Rock said, because someone's like, "Why are you doing a horror movie?" He goes, "I've watched a lot of movies, and I thought to myself, if there was just 3 or 4 well-placed jokes, could have been a lot better of a movie." Which seemed like an interesting concept for Saw, a horror movie.
I watched a Halloween with a few well-placed jokes in it.
Didn't make it a better movie?
No. Made it worse.
Well, would it have been still bad without the jokes?
Yes.
So did the jokes help
No.
at all?
Made it worse.
Okay, well, all right.
Made it worse.
Well then.
Speaking of making it worse,
Spain.
so this is how fast this story changed. So earlier today, I looked up and Movie Web had Rick Moranis may return in Disney's Honey I Shrunk the Kids reboot Shrunk. Now, let's keep in mind, Rick Moranis is pretty much retired. He hasn't
When
appeared
you say pretty much retired?
You mean
20
retired.
years.
Not true.
In live action, I should say. And then he's
No, not true still.
I'm sorry,
Still
live
not
action
true.
movie.
Still not true.
What was he in?
He
He
was
did the
in...
Bob and Doug reunion.
right.
But was that a movie?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking that was just an appearance.
No, it was like, it was segmented, but it was actually warmed my
Straight
heart a
through
little bit.
or something.
Yeah. It was a 2/4 anniversary. And the 24th anniversary of the film, they got back together again, did a couple of new comedy sketches, interviewed a whole bunch of people, talked about long-term impact of the show. It's pretty good.
It was like a documentary
it's-
intermixed. Is it like Best in Show? Kind of like a movie centered around a fake
Somewhat.
documentary?
Somewhat like that, with, again, making them real characters and not, but then talking about the impact of them and interstitials of their commercial appearances, but then back to them on the program doing new stuff. That was the only thing he came back for. I was like, good for you, man. That's got to give you a tip of the cap on that one.
I don't know
And
necessarily.
you know why he retired, right?
What's it?
You know why he
He went to take
retired?
care of his family, didn't he?
His wife died.
Yeah.
I mean, a tragic story, and he was like, I'm going to go be with my family. I'm going to do this.
But bad news, I looked just like an hour later, and it says Disney denies report. Moranis is in talk for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reboot. So
I did like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That was
'cause he
big when
did
I was-
not come
that
back.
was my childhood.
he's made no appearances in any of the this Ghostbusters stuff that's been going on. Obviously, they're an
Well, some of
iconic
that
role for
Ghostbusters
him.
is kind of worth avoiding in a lot of ways.
But they brought almost everybody back. And everybody who was still around got brought back for the
This new
girl
one.
reboot. No, the girl reboot.
I know.
And people dump on it. I thought it was pretty good. It was not the same
Oh,
movie.
it was that was like the beginning of like the online. This movie's terrible before anybody's actually seen the movie.
Right.
We'll ruin it for everybody
Correct.
beforehand.
They dumped all over it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to ignore this. I thought it was good. Not as good as Ghostbusters, but
What is?
on par with the second one, which was
Vigo?
which was kind of a turd. That movie was kind of a turd.
Well,
Oh, no.
I haven't seen it that much. I mean, I don't know.
This is a tremendous error.
So
Whoa.
I love the picture.
Please,
next
please
story-
encourage me to get it.
Lilo
Please
and
encourage
Stitch.
me.
So as we recall,
You can't see it if you don't have it.
I think that's a win.
I mean, Stitch is an
Oh,
all-out
man. Can you
monster
show
that is
this?
uncontrollable, right?
well,
show
I
this
think
on
they
the
came
show.
back there. I mean,
Wow. That is awful.
So Lilo and Stitch live action, but they're saying it's a blended live action.
why?
Because they're not gonna have a real-
I don't need everything to be live action.
Like, they're almost out.
Could be coming straight to Disney Plus.
Three Caballeros
What I do
live
need-
action movie.
What I do need is Moana live action with The Rock as Maui.
Oh, I'd
Now
watch
you're
that.
talking.
Yes, we'll have every
watch that.
possible Venn
watch
diagram fulfilled.
I would watch that.
That's the only one that's left. I don't need anything else.
No, there's a couple more.
What else do you need?
Make Mine Music live action version. Right? They haven't done a Pinocchio live action, have they?
Have you seen the
Disney has
Geico
not.
commercials?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was in a live action
It's
Pinocchio.
terrible. Terrible.
But that
How
wasn't-
about the Snow White live action by Disney? Did you know that there's a movie
Kinda
called,
quiet.
are you ready for this? Cinderfella?
I did not.
Is that by Disney as well?
No, it is
I don't
not.
think so.
It is done by a famous comedic actor
Oh, this is
There's a
quiz
lot of
time.
them.
Okay. I know.
who famous for his telethons.
Oh, Jerry Lewis.
Yes.
Cinderfella.
Cinderfella.
When you say famous for his telethons, nobody under the age of like 29 knew what you were talking
Did
about.
you know?
I did, but I'm old.
Well, he's been dead for a while now. I mean, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, telethons. Like,
What,
people
what
like,
should I refer to?
Tele what?
The King of Comedy? Famous for
There
the
you go.
King of Comedy. And still kids. Oh, the King of Comedy. That one I have. They don't know Jerry. How about Slapstick from Another Dimension,
There you go.
kids?
No.
Everybody's got that one.
Now you've lost me.
See-
You've dropped me off on
That
this.
movie's terrible. That's one of the worst movies ever. I can even remember as like an 8-year-old, I was like, this movie's horrendous.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, can you look up a still from
I don't think I need-
Slapstick from
It might be right there.
Oh.
no, never mind. This is Baby
Nope.
Yoda now.
Sorry, I switched.
Baby Yoda? Quit that.
Well, that's the
Slapstick
reason
from
to
Another-
get it.
Slapstick from Another Dimension, also starring, what was her name? Madeline Kahn was in it. That movie is awful.
It's probably dangerous to
Images.
just start searching.
Images of that. Totally not right.
No,
Nope.
we'll have to do a little post.
Nope.
We'll check in
Post
on that
credits.
later.
Slapstick
Oh,
of
of
another
another
kind on Wikipedia.
kind.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
There
we
it.
said.
There it is. How's that for pictures,
So
huh?
that's
It doesn't look good.
Uh huh.
You told me the movie was bad, and now I believe you even more.
Uh huh.
I had no reason to doubt. But
Can you imagine going to the theater and being like, "Hey, honey, Slapstick of Another Kind's coming out. We should go see that."
well, but remember back in the day when this came out, there probably wasn't many options.
the comedy hit of the year.
Your other not go see a movie was an option.
Well,
then.
that's true. But if you've made the decision to go to the movies,
Oh, comedy of the year.
Comedy of the year.
it was a light year.
Must have been.
It was a very dark year.
Nothing funny came out that year.
Hey, guess what?
Yes.
The Mandalorian season 2 has finally announced a date.
I know.
October 2020.
I should get Disney Plus.
Wait now until October 2020, and then you can do it all
I
at
actually
once.
read a review saying, now that the Mandalorian's over, there's no reason to get Disney Plus if you're an adult.
That's harsh. The whole family just sat down and watched Cool Runnings on Disney Plus.
Hey,
we own it as well, but-
Hey kids, would you like to watch a movie that you don't want to watch? Come on, let's come watch this.
For the record, I've been watching Clone Wars.
Nice.
It's on there.
I gotcha. It's also on my Blu-rays at my house
True.
for free.
Well,
Not anymore.
Already paid
There
for.
was, yeah.
Now, money
Already
spent.
paid for. Already paid for.
We're almost out of time. We didn't get to Oscar predictions, but so just so you
We'll
know,
get to those later.
that wild, as the headline says, that wild Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage movie has a release date.
Yes.
So the name of it is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Cage is going to play himself, but in a heightened sense, of course.
The unbearable weight of a tremendously sexy human.
He's desperate
starring me as myself.
desperate to work with Quentin Tarantino and working undercover for the CIA. That's the
This is like being John Malkovich
Yes.
without
Yes.
the like artistic,
Good.
bizarre side of it.
Yes.
This is just like
Hello. Are you Nicolas Cage? Yes, I am. Like, this is an Office episode written all
so it's
over
coming
it.
out March 19th, 2021, which apparently already
21.
is already the same date as the next Tomb Raider and the next Paranormal Activity movie.
Big.
They
big
should have
day.
put it out in the last 3 weeks. That would have been a better decision.
All right, anybody Oscar prediction real quick? Best picture before we go. Any?
I mean, 1917 is the favorite.
I think Parasite's,
Irishman?
yeah.
I liked Irishman. I really did.
Of these 6 I've seen, Parasite I think is my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm
But
surprised.
I did not see 1917, so I can't judge on that.
No, I haven't seen it either. I just know what
Here, it's
I
brilliant.
just know what the odds tell me.
Yeah.
What is the odds right now?
1917 is the
35,
favorite.
80.
Oh no, not
100
percentages. It's just like
2 to 1.
if you know like wagering odds.
Got it.
Yeah, like the Las Vegas odds, although it's not really Las Vegas.
This weekend, Birds of Prey
Winner.
coming up against Bad Boys for Life.
I think Bad Boys is going to be 2
Yes.
behind Birds of Prey.
I think you're right.
We'll have to check and see, and then we'll dissect the Oscars and see if anything exciting happens this weekend.
And the
in Oscars.
Razzie announcements?
And the Razzie announcements will be coming out as well at that point in time. So we'll have to check next week on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.